Steve Perry gets a temporary restraining order to protect his music, and we'll talk all about it coming right up.
And now it's time for Steve Perry News with Gary Stuckey. All Steve Perry News.
Hello everybody, I'm Gary Stuckey. Welcome back to another episode of Steve Perry News. And Steve Perry gets a temporary restraining order against Phil Brown, who was trying to release the music that they recorded together back in the early 90s. It was, I told you about it in another video. Go check that out. But Steve's suing him over that. They recorded on this 8-track recorder, bad quality. And then Phil was going around telling people, and his manager was telling people that it's a new album and Steve Perry's on it, and led some fans to believe that Steve was helping Phil come out with this album, and a bunch of lies and stuff like that. So Steve gets this lawsuit against him, is going to sue him, but now the judge just ruled that a temporary restraining order, that means Phil cannot release the music or even mention Steve, his name, or tying him to the music or Phil's band or anything like that. So they still have to wait on the final decision to see what happens, the final court decision, to see if there's, I guess, any damages, reward and some money, or make the final decision to never release those songs. So we're still going to wait and see about that. But for right now, it's a temporary restraining order. So Phil can't go out there and release the music right now. So that's a good thing. So he won a small victory there, and we'll see what happens. Phil, he was in the band Little Feat. A lot of people don't know that. He's written a bunch of songs. He recorded with Steve Perry, played the bass on Steve Perry's For the Love of Strange Medicine album. The song Tuesday Heartache, Phil played bass on that. He's written a bunch of songs, on his own right, but he was trying to cash in on Steve's success, and but Steve won that as of right now, that temporary restraining order. And then his manager had been going over on all the social media sites and telling people that this was new music. This was Steve and Phil, like they were in a band, and had new music coming out, and of course untrue. And so I'm glad for Steve. Anybody that would try to take Steve's music without his permission and try to hurt him, and there's a lot of that going on. I think that's got to stop. If you're a fan of Steve, speak positive. And if you're a friend of his, if whatever your association with Steve, if you're trying to help out, help out. But if not, if you're trying to take advantage of a situation, or if you're trying to bring his name down, some people post stuff, on social media that's negative about Steve, or they stir up stuff. I'm not big on that. I try to encourage people and promote Steve Perry all the time. So if you got something negative to say about it, just don't say it. Keep it to yourself, or go to the all Steve Perry bashing site, but don't come to this one, or don't go to any Steve Perry site saying negative stuff, because that's not cool. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving holiday. Be safe out there, and God bless you. Don't stop believing.